What's up everybody? My name is Jarod Coffman. We're back here at the Colorado Rehab series. We're here in my shop today. I've got the countertops behind me, some quartz slabs. We've got some bear paint for the walls and the cabinets. We've got our trim here. This is a colonial profile, which I'm pretty excited to be doing inside the home. And we've got our flooring here. This is a Macmillan laminate flooring, kind of like an LVP, but it's a little bit different. We'll get into that when we're inside the house. We'll look at the details of how everything goes together, process and procedures to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible.
Colorado Rehab, a Build Pro original series. Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors.
All right, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the windows we chose to use for this house, which are Pella windows. Now, I've used a lot of different window systems over the years, but what really stands out to me with Pella is they focus on design, durability, and performance all at the same time with no compromise. You're not just getting a window that looks good, you're getting a window that's going to perform really well for the long term. One of the biggest advantages for this product was we weren't locked into just one type of window everywhere. Pella offers multiple different product types so we can pick which windows will perform best in different areas of the house, and they'll all look the same visually. On the main level, we went with the Lifestyle Series windows. And then we opted for the STC rated glass, which helps with sound control, which makes a lot bigger difference than people realize, especially in an area like this where wind hits on this side of the home all the time. Then down here in the basement, we switched over to the Impervia series. This is better for tougher environments where we're below grade, there's a little bit higher moisture content. This is a fiberglass frame, and it's essentially a maintenance-free window. So being able to run the Lifestyle series on the main floor and the Impervia series on the downstairs and still have everything match is a really big deal on a project like this. Now from an install perspective, coming from a framer, my favorite part about these Lifestyle windows is the steady set system.
You can set the window from the inside using their adjustable hardware.
With most of the install being done from the inside, that makes for a faster, safer, and more manageable install. We've used Steady Set on a custom home we built up in the mountains in Colorado. Super tall building. If these were to install from the exterior, we would have had to set up crazy tall extension ladders, and it would have been a very scary and unsafe install. But with the Steady Set, we were able to install all of the windows from the interior of the home, and with only a few guys, we got the entire custom home done in one day. At the end of the day, it just comes down to using the right window in the right place without sacrificing the overall look of the house. And that's where Pella stands out. It's looking way different in here, but I am absolutely hyped for it. Before we start hanging drywall, there's lots of things we want to do to make sure that the process goes smoothly and things work out well. One example of that would be when I framed the stairs, I left a gap between the stair tread and the wall. Now, anyone who's done any carpentry, or even if you haven't, you can just picture this in your mind. You've got one sheet of drywall, you've got a set of stairs, and you need to cut a bunch of steps out of it in order for it to fit perfectly. Any little gap could crack, you gotta fill it with mud, all this stuff. That's a real pain. What isn't a pain is leaving your stairs with a little bit of a gap there that they can slide a full sheet of drywall all the way down. You could terminate your flooring into that, or if you're gonna run trim, you can put your trim behind it as well, leave a little bit more of a gap. That's an example of one thing we did to ensure that the drywall install process goes as smoothly as possible. Another thing to take note of before you do any of this is on your doors and windows and all those things, take note of whether you want a drywall return or a cased opening. This is helpful and definitely was used here because some of the doors had drywall returns, some of the doors had cased returns. Basically what that means is I'm gonna have trim that goes from the wall into the door and it's gonna cover that corner there, or I'm just gonna let the drywall go across it and the drywall texture and finish is going to make that corner. It's important to take note of those because you'll either be cutting out drywall you didn't need, or you'll be having to add drywall that you wish you did later on. So that's something we did. I walked through that with the drywaller to make sure he knows everything for which spots get what finish to make sure that it's all dialed in the end. And now with the drywall up, we can start to get paint up. Now, I also decided this was a little bit of a time and cost saving things. I decided to paint the walls and the ceiling all one color. Usually you'll see kind of a flat white on the ceilings and then just whatever wall color you want everywhere else. I picked one white color for both walls and the ceilings. That made it super smooth of a process because as soon as drywall is done, we only need to mask the windows and we can go ahead and spray everything all at once. We still haven't laid down any flooring, so we don't need to mask the floors. We can just spray everything. I went back with the roller too while we were spraying and hit that because I'm not a professional painter, so there's gonna be runs, but when you hit it all with the low nap roller, it'll all have a nice smooth finish. It'll look super clean and super professional. After painting's all done, we can start the flooring. We've got a few different types of flooring throughout the house. We've got tile in the bathrooms. We've got the Macmillan laminate in the main living area, and we've got carpet in the bedrooms and in the basement. The reason we're doing flooring now at this stage is so that we can install the baseboard tight to the top of the floor and have a nice tight fit with no gaps or anything like that. So I've got some flooring over here and I want to pull it out and show you guys what this looks like. So this is the flooring that we're using in the house. Macmillan is the manufacturer. This is a Savona floor is what it's called. It's a laminate floor. It assembles like a click lock flooring, so it's kind of like an LVP. This is not 100% waterproof product, but it is a 300-hour rated water resistant product. So for example, you would have to have water sitting on your floor for literally over a week straight before you're actually inside that non-rated territory. This stuff is super nice. One of the things I do like about it is these are extra wide planks and these are extra long planks. Usually the bigger the piece, the higher end the feel, and that certainly applies to this flooring as well. Well, there we have it. Look at this place. Can you even believe it? Feels like just yesterday I was ripping the stone off of this with Ethan and almost getting crushed by a wall of rock. Feels really amazing in here. I'm just inches away from being in here with my family, getting to enjoy all of the time and money I put into this meth house. So these are the slabs that we're using for our countertops. These are quartz slabs, super, super durable. As I've mentioned, the main space in the house is kind of tight for everything that it needs to be. It's a multifunctional room. It's the living room, it's the dining room, it's the kitchen. So all of that square footage isn't really a ton to really have a ton of dedicated space for each of those things. So part of our solution to that is giant countertop peninsula with an overhang on one side that we can use as main seating for dining. So we've got enough space that we can probably fit 4 chairs there, and that's how we're gonna do that with the countertop. So we're gonna be doing an undermounted sink. So we'll cut out a hole out of the slab that will get epoxied and we'll cut little divots into the thing and it'll like brackets slide in there and it's very technical as you can tell. We'll also be doing some recessed outlets in the tops of the counter. So we'll make sure we measure those out. I've got to cut those holes into the framing inside the house, make sure all that fits right. And then we'll drill those in the slabs as well, just to ensure that everything fits right. And we've got all the clearances we need. It's real easy to cut parts off of countertop, but it never looks as good when you have to glue parts back on. So we try to get it right the first time. Here I wanted to show you guys the header detail on our casing. We've got a little 1x2, a 1x6, a little doorstop molding piece, and then another 1x2 on top. And that kind of gives us this cool stacked header look. I also wanted to point out, if you notice here, this hangs down a little bit. That's because we're at a closet here. We're gonna be doing a bypass door. So what that means is we're gonna have a track inside here. Sort of like a pocket door, but it's just, it doesn't slide into a pocket. It just slides either in front or behind the other panel. So by hanging this down, we can put our track up there and you won't ever see the track or the wheels or anything. All you'll see is the trim detail. So that's kind of a simple way to plan ahead when you're casing these out, but before you've hung the doors. That'll ensure that it looks super nice and finished when it's all said and done. So definitely recommend doing that. All right, so here's an example of what one of our openings looks like before it's fully cased. So what you will see here when it's all done, we'll put a jam material here, casing here, we'll come up to there, and then we'll do that cool stack header all the way across the top. But while we're in here, I want to show you guys some of the tile we did in here. Now, we kind of went crazy and mix and matched 3 different tiles for this bathroom wall and shower. We've got a penny tile on the bottom. That's just nice because when you're doing a poured pan for the shower, that will easily conform to any sloping, so you won't have to have any goofy angled cuts in a square tile in order to get it to slope properly. And then we went with a ruby red and then sort of a, I don't know what the technical name would be, but it's almost like a distressed, slightly like rusty white. There's like kind of some rust colored spots on it. But we just thought that was kind of cool. And of course we stuck with the gold hardware as everywhere else has in the house. And I feel like it's come together pretty well. Originally I had told my wife that I thought this was a little too bold of a look and we couldn't do it in the main bathroom, but now that it's done, I kind of like it and I think she was right. So I guess there's one regret. Trust your wives, kids. So over here you can see I've also got a windowsill I need to put in. Now the reason that this isn't done when I've got the drywall returned on the all other sides is this wall gets framed out further. We've got to have room to run electrical in there. We've got to get insulation. And we've also got this floating wall detail that you can see back in the earlier episodes. But all that to say, each of these windows not only has a unique width, it also has a unique depth because of variation in the framing and variation in the foundation. So every single windowsill needs to be completely custom made, which is a little bit tedious, but it'll make it a really nice result when it's all done. So that's the process, how we're gonna make this look perfect and finished. Now let me show you one that is perfect and finished. Okay, so here you can see what the finished windowsill looks like. We've got that 1/2 inch sheet of MDF, a little trim piece underneath to support it and help hold it all level. And when it's caulked and painted, it looks perfect. So the key takeaways for this episode are how planning ahead can seriously affect the outcomes and the smoothness of the finishes in your home. In the next episode, we're gonna apply the same thought process to the exterior of the home. We're gonna make the whole outside of this thing look absolutely perfect, and we'll be one step closer to moving in. We'll see y'all then.